I caught some redfish out here one time. Uh-oh, Jerry. Look at the alligators. Sound like a redfish bite. Hey man, I like what Franco Hill, my buddy, said a long time ago. There are no strangers in the world, just friends we've never met. Today, I've got a sweepstakes winner. Berkley puts on a sweepstakes, and I've got a winner from Redding, California. And nothing I like better than taking a guy that has never experienced catching those big redfish down to Venice. So that's what we're gonna do today. Headed to Venice, Louisiana, trying to catch some of these big honker redfish. So it's gonna be exciting. My sweepstakes winner's name is Jerry Snyder from Redding, California. We're gonna have a great day. You stay with me. I'm Hank Parker. With the other side. The sharks are so bad. I've been here for a week. Let me walk around over here to this corner where I don't have to look through there. Got my cameraman repositioned. I was looking through the windshield. I see my reflection. It was scaring me. I know it's scaring small children. That's a bad thing. I'm ready to go get them. Are you, Jerry?
Sir, ready to go.
All right, brother, we are ready. Hey, we have us a sweepstakes winner from Redding, California. Now, I'm telling you, we're here. This is 2018, and it's the last week of July, and there are the most massive forest fires in the history of California burning all around Redding. And Jerry had been evacuated from his home. He wasn't sure that he was going to get to come on this trip. Just 2 days before we're starting our show this day, he was able to come back, he and his wife, to their home in Redding, California. So he's coming over. We're in Venice, Louisiana. Man's been under a lot of pressure, and so it's a time of getaway. Couldn't have had a better winter. Berkley couldn't have done a better job of getting the right guy down for the trip, and we're gonna have fun. He's watched all my shows. So man, he is not only a great winner, but he knows everything about Hank Parker, and he's excited. He don't know any better. He's really excited about fishing with me. And the minute we were announced we got a Berkley sweepstakes winner, I said, man, let's go to Venice. Well, don't you want to go bass fishing? You can go smallmouth fishing. You can go do this. I love all of that. I love it. But no, it's a thrill for me to turn somebody on that has never done it before to go out and catch these big redfish. There's nothing like it. There is nothing like it, man. It's like throwing out and hooking the bumper of a freight train. I mean, I can't even describe how cool it is and how hard these rascals pull. Now, these things are gonna pull like crazy, so don't put your hand on that spool. That drag's good. All right, come on up here. So, hey, here we are, Venice, Louisiana. Jerry Snyder, Berkley Sweepstakes, Redding, California. No fires today in Louisiana. We're gonna go out. We got thunderstorms we gotta watch, but we're headed out. Oh yeah, Jerry! First redfish, woo, Jerry! Now, it is all about a Berkley grub, chartreuse, and a popping cork. That's what it's about. We got a popping cork called the Four Horsemen that is the loudest popping cork I've ever seen in my life. How we doing back there, Jerry?
Great.
Having fun yet?
Oh, yes, sir.
Woo! Now, there's an art to popping that cork. There really is an art to it, and it takes a little practice. Well, Jerry hasn't practiced at all. He's never done this before in his life. Now, go ahead and wind that one in, Jerry. But with this Four Horsemen popping cork, it really is easy to pop, and it makes a lot of noise, and that's your whole objective. Wind that one in for me, Jerry. Wind that one, buddy. You got this big giant flat with all these redfish. I'm talking about for miles. You've got all this shallow water. in this big mouth of a bay that go for miles. What you got, Jerry? And you got all these redfish just roaming around looking for bait. There's a lot of bait there, a lot of bait. So if you can take that popping cork and make a lot of noise like fish are feeding on bait, they come swimming in there looking, and there's that little Berkley grub. Jerry, look at me while you fighting that fish. This is your first redfish. Jerry's first redfish. You think, what is a 30-pound fish doing eating that little thing? They love it, man. That's a pretty smile. How about that? Bye, Jerry's first redfish. Now you're working on Jerry's second redfish. And we experimented with a lot. I caught them on a lot of different gulp. I had some gulp jerk shads. I had some 4-inch gulp shrimp. I had some 3-inch gulp new penny shrimp. I had all these, and it all worked, every bit. But in that water, it seemed like this chartreuse grub worked better than anything we threw. And I would have never thought anything could outfish gulp shrimp. I would have not believed it. And I won't say it outfished it, but it kept up with it. It did outfish it. It really did. So I am saying that. That outfished anything we threw. And that's what Jerry and I caught our fish on. I mean, we hammered them. Just popping that cork. Doing good, Jerry. I like that. You're doing the California shuffle. We were fishing with a new braid that Berkley has called 5-strand. We were fishing with 30 pounds and throwing it and popping it and holding on. And those fish pull like freight train. And for a while, every time I'd hook one, I'd hand Jerry my rod. And then we had about 10 doubles where I couldn't hand him my rod. He was busy fighting the fish. Then every once in a while I'd have one on and I was glad it came off, you know, and Jerry'd be fighting them. So I kept him busy. He was absolutely catching one right after another. And then he caught a great big jack, got it right up to the boat. Oh! That wore out already? We got 100 more to go. Jerry, here we go. Thank you, Berkley. Just like brim fishing, Jerry, just watch your bobber go under. Hello, Jerry. I thought I'd join you, buddy. He don't like that old Fray Bill. He's just a little fella.
Here we go.
Put him back into the pond. Hey, don't run off. I just saw a fish move. I think we're gonna get on some more giants. Well, I'm a gaining weight and I'm a turning mighty pale. Losing weight, honey, losing weight from all the work. I'm a losing weight and turning mighty pale.
Hank's Show is made possible in part by Luz. Feel the difference. And by Minn Kota. Soft Science. Solar Bat. And Talon. Now it's time for Hank's Tip of the Day.
I'm sitting here looking at my depth. I'm looking at a scale that shows me I'm talon down. It's showing me the temperature. It's showing me that I have 0 speed over ground. It shows my 12-volt supply. I've got all this technology. I've got all that on my screen. I've got all these capabilities. Is that not intimidating for 60-year-old guys plus?
It could be, but I think you're like the perfect case study. You started it. I don't even know that I got a single call from you. You pressed buttons and you figured it out. Tell me how your run to get to know it was.
Well, first I resisted all of it because it to me just seemed too complex, and so I was intimidated by it. But then as I started learning the benefits, hey, I can deploy my talon from my Humminbird. I don't even have to get up. I don't have to get my remote control out of the console. Man, I'm deployed. So I'm willing to go the extra mile to learn to be able to get the benefits of the technology. And as I start with that mindset, it becomes pretty simple. And you guys have made it really, really easy. And I'm not at all intimidated by any of it. I change pages. I go to menus under Sonar. I go to menus under Chart. I set my color reference. I do my water leveling. I do all of that, and I have absolutely no intimidating factor. You guys have made it simple.
We focus on making it easy, so if you have a different unit you've used all your life, coming into a Humminbird and operating it is easy.
There's no doubt about it.
Living proof.
Yeah. All right, another question I have. Let's say I have a Solix on my console and a Helix on my bow. Will those two units interact? Can you go through the Ethernet?
Well, they will. And so some folks like a touchscreen, and so we offer the Solix platform like you're using here, and that one happens to be a 15-inch screen. But our Helix platform is really just button press. And so basically you can pick whichever one that you like, but the beauty is whether you have one and the other or just both, they'll still talk to each other. So even if you have a Helix in the front or the Solix in the bow like you've got, they'll talk to each other, and you get the benefits of sharing sonar data and some other things across the network.
And I want to say this to my viewers, to my very special friends who watch my television show, that I have a lot of gratitude. I don't like fingerprints. I don't like people to, so I can disarm the touch screen. That is my option. I can take it away where a guy can touch my screen and it doesn't change. So I can make it button operated if I want to. All I gotta do is turn touch screen off and no fingerprints.
We actually did the touch screen and the buttons on Solix. You can do whichever one you like. So we've got both buttons in touch on.
I love touch screen. I can zoom by just taking my fingers, but I want to be the one touching my screen. I don't want you touching my screen. I don't want my fishing partner touching my screen. Hey! Look right here. I can watch my track on my Humminbird, and I've got a chip in there, a Lake Master chip, that's an aerial deal. It's different than the lakes where they have all the topographical information. But when you catch fish, see where we've circled several times with the boat? Then I marked that waypoint up there where we started, which is waypoint number 7. And we can watch our track and we go right back to where we caught those fish and make that exact same grip. When you're out here in the middle of the ocean, you think a lot of times, this is where I was at a while ago, and you'd be a mile from where you were. But with that track, you know exactly where you were.
There you go.
Tell him to quit doing that, David. We're trying to get along here. Tell him. You didn't talk to him, David. We caught them redfish and they kept a-coming. How about it, Uncle Jerry? Jerry, I get tired just watching you. Hey. Here you go. Nope, he ain't ready, Jerry. I'm gonna let you fight him a while. You having too much fun. Here we go. Here we go. Get this fish off of me. Jerry's got a redfish by the tail.
Hank's Show is brought to you in part by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Mercury Marine, go boldly. And by this portion of Hank's Show is brought to you by Berkley. Catch more fish.
I like mine better, Jerry. I like mine better.
Okay, the latest and greatest this year.
Yeah,
we just
I
rolled
want to
this
talk
out of
about that. I want to understand this. Now, I can tell you, I played with it, but I didn't have enough to fish. It was so brand new, I only got 2 spools. So I put it on, and I didn't have but 130 pounds, so I'm fishing for redfish. And so I only had 1 reel with it. So I didn't get a lot of experience with it because I let my partners fish with that reel.
Okay. So traditional super lines are usually like a 4-carrier braid or an 8-carrier. You know, those are pretty standard.
All right, now 4-carrier means 4 strands woven together.
Yep, like you're braiding
or
something.
5 strands woven together.
Yep.
That's what's standard on the market is 4 strands.
4, and then the high end stuff is 8.
The high end is 8.
Yep.
Okay.
But most things are just 4. So We have a couple scientists at work that started monkeying around with some stuff, and they just started trying some odd combinations, and they figured out the way you could put 5 together, which was really odd. It was tough to do, and 9 together. So what this allows you to do is get those things even tighter. So it takes all the gaps and the edges out that you had in 4 and 8 carrier. Solidifies it, makes it a more solid line. For one, you get smoother. It's not as bumpy when you're coming through the guides. When you're cutting through weeds, this stuff will cut quicker. And it's just a better braid is all it is. It's that simple.
Boy, it is smooth now, I will tell you that.
That will cast 10% further than about anything you've ever thrown besides Nanofill.
All right, Jerry, we're gonna do a Louisiana special here. We're gonna do a Louisiana special.
Holy Toledo.
Holy Toledo. Yeah, now. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh my goodness, Jerry, what have you got a hold of? Look what a bull redfish you got. Done took and hooked. Look at that thing. All right, here's what we're gonna do, Jerry. Watch this. This is a net that Fraybill makes that you can slide the handle up, or you can slide it back, click it in place, just hang loose. And this net is rubberized, so it doesn't take the slime off of the fish. This is a Fraybill net that I had in my last bay boat. This net has probably literally netted 500 20+ pound redfish, and it's still in awesome shape after all this time. And this handle comes out even further, so if you have to chase them, and this thing is still alive and well after all these years of netting redfish. Look at this Fraybill. So I just wanted to give Fraybill a shout out on how awesome this dip net is, and how durable, and how well it's held up, and how many big redfish. We might have to put this thing in the Fraybill Hall of Fame. That's what we call double your pleasure, double your fun. Jerry, look at that pile of fish. Huh? Look at that pile of fish. That's a good little workout, isn't it? Get you another one, Jerry.
This portion of Hank's Show is brought to you by Berkley. Catch more fish. Yeti coolers, built for the wild.
There you go. Take it and catch it for me, Jerry. So we just kept catching them and kept catching them and kept catching them. And my inshore, custom inshore new lures worked flawlessly. It's got a drag, man. We caught them one right after another. Jerry was wore out. Tiger by the tail, it's plain to see.
No, we went to the back.
I take the high road, you take the low road. I'll be in Scotland. Oh, yeah. Oh, Mr. Jerry. Come on, L.A. Bluegill. What do you think, Jerry? Come up here and tell me what you think. You've been kind of private over there catching fish.
What do I think? I think this is the best day of my life almost.
Best day of your life.
Oh!
Coming at you.
Besides having my kids and getting married.
How about that? Now, I'm ranking up there pretty good. Ooh, I'm gonna see if I can't tame him down. I'm one of the finest fishermen you've ever seen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. See there? I'll give you that 100 in a minute.
Oh, okay.
I was so delighted. Jerry, he just had so much pressure. He got in late, and man, he'd been evacuated from his home, and he just had a lot of things. We forgot all about that. It was all about catching big redfish, and he was wore out. Batten down the hatch. We had a thunderstorm come rolling in, so we had to make a run for it. And I'm gonna tell you, it saved our lives. If we'd have caught many more, we'd have probably died from exhaustion out there winding them big fish in. It was a very special show. So thank you, Jerry Snyder, for coming and being with me, and thank you, Berkley, for making it all possible. We're out here in the middle of the ocean, but we're only in 3 foot of water. Go figure that.
I know.
In the middle of the ocean. caught them redfish and they kept a-coming. There wasn't as many as they was supposed to. Man, what a great guy, Jerry Snyder. We had so much fun hooking up, learning each other, and just catching those honker redfish. To share that experience, to me, just to catch one of those guys is so awesome. And we caught them, and we caught them, and we caught them. We had a storm run us off that saved the day because we were both totally wore out. I mean, it was like double and every other cast and just crazy action. And that is a trip that I'll never forget, and I guarantee you Jerry will never forget it. Thank you, Berkley, for having the sweepstakes. Thank you, Jerry, for coming out and joining me down in Venice, Louisiana. And thank you, Captain Ron Price, Fish Intimidator Guide Service out of Venice. All that worked together for one great day catching some honker redfish. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll be back with me next week. God bless you. I'm Hank Parker.
And don't forget to visit us at hankparker.com, the place for tips, giveaways, and more.
The house needs painting, the grass needs mowing. Where's he at? Gone fishing.